Chosen ones. 5 signs your energy is exposing their shadows. There's something different about you and you've known it for a long time. Maybe you couldn't explain it, maybe you even tried to ignore it, but deep down you've always felt it. You walk into a room and the energy shifts. People either gravitate toward you or instantly feel uncomfortable. You don't have to say a word. Your presence alone is enough to trigger something deep within them. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. Your energy is exposing their shadows. This is something every chosen one will experience. When your vibration is high, when you operate from a place of truth, authenticity, and light, you become a mirror. You reflect back to people what they are trying to avoid within themselves. And not everyone is ready to face that. Some will be inspired by your presence, drawn to your energy, feeling a sense of awakening just by being near you. But others will react with resistance, defensiveness, even hostility. Not because you have done anything wrong, but because your energy is forcing them to confront the parts of themselves they have buried.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Have you ever wondered why some people seem to dislike you without reason? Why you make certain people uncomfortable even though you've done nothing to them? Why you attract intense reactions from others, whether it's admiration or resentment, without even trying? It's because your energy is doing something beyond the physical. It is exposing the hidden, the suppressed, the unhealed wounds in those around you. And that kind of energy is rare, it is powerful, it is undeniable, but here's where it gets even deeper. Not only do you expose the shadows of others, but you also force them to make a choice, face their darkness or run from it. Some will see you and feel an unexplainable urge to change, to grow, to evolve. They will see in you a reflection of what they could become, and they will be inspired. But others will resist. They will project their fears onto you. They will try to discredit you, belittle you, or push you away, not because they truly dislike you, but because being around you forces them to acknowledge something they are not ready to face. And this is where the real test begins, because as a chosen one, you will constantly be faced with these reactions. You will experience friendships that feel deep and powerful, only to suddenly dissolve when the other person can no longer handle the intensity of your presence. You will encounter people who are drawn to you, who admire you, who even seek your guidance, only to turn against you when your energy brings their wounds to the surface. And if you are not aware of what is happening, you might start to question yourself. You might wonder, why does this keep happening? What am I doing wrong? But the truth is, you are not doing anything wrong. You are simply being you, and that is enough to disrupt the illusion that others are living in. But let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how people reveal their true nature around you? How their masks slip? How their hidden emotions rise to the surface? How they can't seem to hide their real selves when they are near you? That is because your energy does not allow for deception. You have a way of bringing out the truth, whether people are ready for it or not. And this is both a gift and a challenge, because while some will be grateful for the clarity you bring, others will see it as a threat. And this is where you must be strong. You must understand that your energy is not for everyone. Not everyone is ready for the frequency you carry. Not everyone is prepared to face their own shadows, and that is okay. Your purpose is not to be liked by everyone. Your purpose is to be the light, regardless of who can handle it. But here's the most important part. You must also learn to protect your energy, because when you carry this kind of light, You will attract both those who seek healing and those who seek to drain you. You will encounter people who are drawn to your energy, not because they want to grow, but because they want to take from you. They will come to you with their problems, their chaos, their unresolved pain, and if you are not careful, you will find yourself carrying burdens that are not yours to bear. So let me ask you, are you protecting your energy, or are you allowing yourself to be drained by those who are not ready to do the work themselves? Because being a chosen one does not mean sacrificing yourself for others. It does not mean dimming your light to make others comfortable. It means standing firm in your truth, even when it triggers those around you. It means understanding that not everyone will understand you, and that's okay. And now let's go even deeper, because there are specific signs that your energy is exposing the shadows of those around you. Signs that reveal when your presence is triggering something hidden, something unspoken, something that others would rather keep buried. And once you recognize these signs, you will no longer question why people react to you the way they do. You will no longer take it personally. You will understand that this is not about you, it is about them. The first sign, when people feel exposed in your presence without you saying a word. There is something about your presence that unsettles people, not because you are doing anything wrong, but because your energy is stripping away their masks. You've probably noticed this before. You walk into a room and suddenly the atmosphere changes. Some people become overly friendly, trying hard to impress you, while others grow tense, defensive, or even outright cold toward you. But here's the thing, you haven't even said anything yet. You haven't called anyone out. You haven't pointed fingers, yet somehow people feel seen around you. And that alone can be terrifying for those who have spent their entire lives hiding from themselves. Your energy is pure. And when pure energy enters a space filled with pretense, deception, or unhealed wounds, it acts like a spiritual flashlight, illuminating everything that was once hidden in the dark. People who have built their identities around falsehoods, who have spent years denying their own truths, suddenly feel uncomfortable, because in your presence, they can't hide. It's not that you are exposing them on purpose, it's that your energy does not allow for illusion. And for those who are not ready to face their own inner world, this can feel like an unspoken confrontation. Have you ever had someone get defensive around you for no reason? Maybe they start justifying themselves, explaining their actions, or even arguing a point that you never challenged in the first place. It's as if just standing next to you makes them feel like they need to prove something. That's because their subconscious recognizes that your energy is pulling their hidden truths to the surface. They feel naked, unguarded, and vulnerable in ways they don't understand, and instead of sitting with those feelings, instead of questioning why they feel so exposed, their instinct is to project, to blame, to make you the problem instead of confronting what your presence is revealing within them. And this is where many chosen ones struggle. Because when this happens repeatedly, when people react to you with unexplained hostility or discomfort, you might start to wonder if you are the problem. You might question if you are doing something wrong, if there's something about you that needs to change. But let me tell you something. You are not the problem. You are the catalysts. And catalysts are rarely welcomed with open arms. Think about the way people respond to truth. Some embrace it, ready to grow, ready to evolve, but many resist it because truth requires change, and change requires discomfort. Most people are not ready to dismantle the illusions they have built their lives around, And when your energy makes them feel that discomfort, their instinct is to reject it, to reject you. But here's what you must understand. This has nothing to do with you personally. You are not causing their discomfort. You are simply revealing what was already there. And that is a good thing, because even if they resist it now, even if they react negatively in the moment, a seed has been planted. Your energy has awakened something in them, whether they admit it or not. And weeks, months, or even years down the line, they may look back and realize that the discomfort they felt in your presence was actually the first step toward their own awakening. But until then, you must protect your own energy, because not everyone will appreciate what you bring. Some will resist, some will lash out, some will try to tear you down just to avoid facing themselves. And if you are not careful, their reactions can drain you. You must learn to recognize when someone is projecting their shadows onto you, and instead of taking it personally, step back and understand what is really happening. So let me ask you, how often have you felt like people misunderstand you, dislike you, or react strangely to you for no apparent reason? Have you ever walked into a room and felt an unspoken tension, as if your presence alone was disrupting something? If so, you are not imagining it. You are feeling the energy shift. And the more aware you become of this, the less power it will have over you. Your job is not to dim your light to make others comfortable. Your job is not to shrink yourself so that others don't feel exposed. Your job is to stand firm in your truth, to remain unwavering in your authenticity, no matter how others react. Because at the end of the day, those who are meant to grow with you will rise, and those who are not ready will fall away. But this is just the beginning, because once people feel exposed in your presence, they will either try to avoid you, or they will do something even more revealing. They will start competing with you, not in ways that are obvious, but in subtle, quiet acts of resistance. And this is where the next sign appears, the moment when people feel threatened by your energy and start trying to prove themselves in your presence. The second sign, when people feel the need to compete with you, even when you're not competing. Have you ever noticed how some people suddenly shift their energy around you? One moment they are neutral, even friendly, and the next they are subtly trying to outshine you, one-up you, or prove themselves in ways that seem unnecessary. It's not a direct attack, not an obvious confrontation, but a quiet tension that builds whenever you're around them. And the most confusing part, you're not even competing, you're just being. Yet somehow, your presence alone makes them feel as if they have something to prove. This is one of the clearest signs that your energy is exposing their shadows. Because here's the truth, when you carry a strong, authentic vibration, those who are still operating from insecurity, ego, or fear will feel the weight of that contrast. And instead of acknowledging the inner discomfort your presence stirs within them, they will try to level the playing field by proving that they are just as powerful, just as capable, just as worthy as you. But here's the key. They are not competing with you. They are competing with the part of themselves that feels small in your presence. You see, most people live their lives in comparison mode. They define their worth based on how they measure up to others. So when you enter the picture, someone who is fully yourself, someone who does not seek validation, someone who does not engage in meaningless competition, it disrupts the foundation they've built their identity on. Because if they have spent their entire lives proving themselves, seeking approval, chasing external success, and suddenly they meet someone who simply is, who does not play the same game, who radiates authenticity without effort, it forces them to question everything. And that questioning is uncomfortable. Instead of looking inward and asking, why do I feel this way? Why do I suddenly feel the need to prove myself? Their instinct is to project outward, to subtly undermine you, to assert dominance in conversations, to downplay your achievements or exaggerate their own, not out of malice, but out of an unconscious need to regain control over the insecurity your presence has activated within them. Think about it. Have you ever shared a success, an idea, or even just an insight, only for someone to immediately respond with something they've done that's better or more impressive? Have you ever noticed that when you speak, certain people feel the need to interrupt, correct, or shift the focus back onto themselves? This is not a coincidence. This is their ego trying to re-establish dominance, trying to neutralize the unconscious threat your energy poses to their carefully constructed self-image. But here's where most chosen ones struggle. Because when this happens, when someone starts acting competitive or dismissive, the natural reaction is to either shrink yourself to avoid conflict or to push back and engage in the competition. But neither of these responses serve you. Shrinking yourself to make others comfortable only dims your light. Playing into the competition only lowers your frequency. The true power move: stay unbothered, stay centered, stay aware of what is happening, but do not engage. Because here's the thing, when you refuse to compete, when you do not give energy to the game they are trying to play, you strip the competition of its power. You remain untouchable. You continue to shine regardless of the external noise. And that, in itself, is the greatest challenge for those who are still trapped in their ego, because they are used to people reacting. They are used to people playing along. But when you don't, when you simply observe their behavior with quiet understanding, when you do not feed the energy they are projecting, they are left to face their own reflection. And this is where something interesting happens. Over time, those who are ready to grow will recognize what they are doing. They will realize that the competition was never with you, it was with themselves, and they will either evolve or distance themselves from you. But those who are still deeply attached to their ego, those who are not ready to face their own shadows, will escalate. They will not just compete, they will try to discredit you. And this is where the next sign appears, the moment when people start subtly or openly trying to undermine your credibility, even though you've done nothing to deserve it. The third sign: when people start undermining you because your energy threatens their illusions. At first, they tried to compete with you. They tried to prove themselves, to match your energy, to assert their dominance in subtle ways. But when that didn't work, when you remained unshaken, when you didn't play their game, they had only one option left: to discredit you. Not because you have done anything wrong, not because you are undeserving, but because your energy is a direct threat to the illusions they have built their lives around. This is one of the hardest things for a chosen one to face, because when you are simply living in your truth, when you are not seeking to harm anyone, when you are just being, it can be shocking to witness how people will twist narratives, spread doubts, or try to make others question your authenticity. But here's the harsh reality. Some people would rather destroy the truth than face it. And when you carry a vibration that brings truth to the surface, you become a target for those who are still deeply attached to their falsehoods. Have you ever noticed how, out of nowhere, people start questioning your intentions? How rumors about you seem to appear without basis? How people you barely know develop an unexplainable resentment toward you? It's not because of who you are, but because of what you represent. Your presence alone forces people to confront the parts of themselves they have ignored, denied, or suppressed, and for many, that confrontation is too much to bear. So instead of looking inward, instead of doing the work, they turn their discomfort outward. They project it onto you. This can manifest in many ways. Some will openly challenge you, trying to poke holes in your wisdom, attempting to find flaws in your character, desperately searching for something, anything that will make them feel justified in rejecting what you bring. Others will be more subtle, planting seeds of doubt in the minds of those around you, using passive-aggressive comments, backhanded compliments, or quiet whispers to slowly erode the perception of your authenticity. And the most dangerous ones? They will pretend to be allies, staying close just long enough to learn your vulnerabilities, only to use them against you when the time comes. But here's what you must understand. None of this is about you. It is about them. It is about their fear of what you represent. Because if they accept your energy as real, if they acknowledge the truth in your presence, then they must also acknowledge what it reveals about themselves. And that is something many people are not ready to do. So let me ask you, how many times in your life have you been misunderstood? How often have you felt like, no matter how pure your intentions, people find a way to misinterpret them? How many times have you faced resistance, not because of anything you said or did, but simply because of the energy you carry? If this resonates with you, know that you are not alone. This path is not easy, but it is necessary. Because here's the thing, those who try to undermine you are only proving the power of your presence. If you were insignificant, if your energy was weak, there would be no need for resistance. The fact that people feel the need to discredit you means that, on some level, they recognize your truth. They may not admit it, they may not even be consciously aware of it, but their actions reveal everything. And this is where you must make a choice. You can spend your energy defending yourself, fighting back, trying to prove your worth to those who are committed to misunderstanding you, or you can rise above it. You can recognize that their resistance is not your burden to carry. You can understand that your purpose is not to convince anyone of your truth, but simply to live it. Because here's the ultimate wisdom. Truth does not need validation. It does not need approval. It does not need permission to exist. It simply is. And those who are meant to see it will see it. Those who are ready to receive your energy will receive it. And those who are not, they will remove themselves. So, do not dim your light for the comfort of others. Do not shrink yourself to avoid triggering the insecurities of those around you. Do not waste your energy explaining yourself to those who have already decided not to understand you. Instead, stand firm. Be unwavering in your authenticity. Continue to walk your path, knowing that the right people, the right souls, the right energies will align with you in time. And those who resist, those who undermine, those who try to pull you down, they were never meant to walk with you in the first place. This is the path of the chosen one. It is not easy, it is not always fair, but it is powerful beyond measure. And when you embrace it fully, when you stop seeking external validation, when you no longer react to the fear and resistance of others, you will unlock a level of freedom, a level of inner peace, a level of untouchable power that few will ever reach. And that is when you will truly understand. Your energy is not the problem, it is the answer. And those who cannot handle it were never meant to.